Welcome to Broadstairs Life. Welcome to Broadstairs Life. Today I'm sitting here with Jim, and Jim is a long-term Broadstairs resident. Would I be right to say?
Yeah, I lived in Broadstairs since 1984.
1984, so...
But I now live in Margate.
You now live in Margate.
I have a lot of connections in Broadstairs.
You have. In fact, we see you around Broadstairs all the time, don't we? Normally over a coffee.
Absolutely.
So, Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now with... I'll let you explain.
Yeah, well, I'm retired, and my last full-time job was as a teacher in a special school. Mm-hmm. So I'm a qualified teacher. I've taught in colleges, schools, and obviously the special needs. But I've always had a soft spot for teaching adults. And in the last 14 or so years, I've been playing ukulele. And
is that self-taught?
Yeah, I'm self-taught. Really? Yeah, I'm self-taught. And I was an ICT teacher, so teaching computers. And a few years ago, probably about 9 years ago, there was a local organisation, which many of your listeners would have heard of, called Ageless Thanet.
Right.
And this was a really good scheme where people of a retirement age could get discounts in local shops and get lots of free courses. So there were fitness courses, yoga, art, and they had their own gymnasium in Margate High Street with machines, and this was all funded by the lottery. Really? And I approached them suggesting they should do ukulele classes as well, because ukulele has been very popular in recent years, particularly with the older generation. And so we went ahead and delivered our first course, which was very successful. They were very pleased because we had a high percentage of male participants, whereas a lot of their classes were predominantly female. So we ticked a box there. Yeah. And the first class was so successful that the participants went on to form a ukulele group, which still meets today in Margate at Old Biz.
And how many people are in that?
Well, that varies, like any group of people, it comes and goes, but they'll be in their teens.
Right.
That same group went on to organise 2 ukulele festivals in 2 successive years at the Winter Gardens. The first one in Queen's Hall, the second one in the main hall, where ukulele players from all over Kent came along, did their turn, talked. Right. There was retailers, etc. And so after that was just after the first class we did, but
came from the first class.
This all came from that first class, yeah. So that momentum is still there with the group in Margate, but we didn't leave it there. We came back for more, and we started doing more beginners classes, but also improvers classes for the people that had done the beginners class. And then the improvers wanted more, so they became intermediate. Yeah. And it just kept going and going.
Growing and growing.
Yes. Along the way, I picked up a few private students who wanted one-to-one. Quite often, they would join an existing group, which is a great place to play your ukulele, but not a learning environment. Right. So they would want a little bit of a top-up, maybe. Then I started getting asked to do other things. So I was asked to do ukulele for Age UK down in Hythe. Right. I was doing other funded classes in Dover.
So you're going sort of all over Thanet, aren't you?
Yeah, I've cut it down these days. I have cut it down because I was getting fed up with the travelling, to be honest.
But, and you're retired and you have to go and
I have to as well. I do have to remind myself. But to be honest, the ukulele that I do is like a paying hobby anyway. I enjoy it so much, and we have such a laugh. And the number one rule, Barry, we don't take ourselves seriously. We just laugh it off. Yeah. We laugh it off.
And you'll see later. All levels?
At all levels, yeah. I've started ukulele groups in 2 local special schools, and we worked out a way of getting the ukuleles sort of so easy that they could at least play them. But to be honest, just being part of a group gave them so much satisfaction.
And is that satisfying to you as well?
Yeah, of course it is, because I just like to see people enjoying themselves, and I like to help people.
And it must be nice when you've got people who have got extra needs take on something, and then they flourish.
They do.
And they grow with it.
Yeah. I mean, as I was a special needs teacher, I do understand that really, quite often, the only thing limiting what special needs people can do, whether they're adults or students. The only thing limiting in them is the other people's attitudes, saying things like, "Oh, you won't be able to do that."
Yeah.
Give them the chance, and they'll show you what they can actually do. Yeah.
And that the thing is, I think the word can't or cannot should not be used.
Well, yeah. I mean, Henry Ford had a good saying. He said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right."
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, when you do your classes, how many do you normally have in a class?
Well, again, that varies. I mean, on average, should probably be about 12, 14 people. I've done over 20. We used to...
That's a lot of people, isn't
Well, yeah, before the days of COVID,
Yeah.
we were doing classes in Broadstairs Library. There's a room to the right as you go in Broadstairs Library, and we were packing in 22 people in an L-shaped room, and they were shoulder to shoulder. I mean, if we had one left-handed person turn up, we're out the door.
Oh, it threw you out,
Yeah. That was it. But, you know,
so what else do you do in Broadstairs now?
Well, I've only got one group that's active at the moment, and that is at the big hall at the back of Crampton Tower Museum. Yeah,
because that's quite a big room, isn't it?
It is a big room. Yeah, we've got the big room, and that group. There's about 22 people in that group, and we meet on a Monday morning. And the good thing about the ukulele is that all over Thanet there are ukulele groups, and there are loads of them, to be honest.
Do you ever all meet up together?
No, not really. That's what happened when we had the festival, that they all came together.
Would that would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
It would be. The trouble we had there was because it had to be funded, you had to have a committee. At the time, because it was in Margate at the Winter Gardens, the committee members had to live in Margate. It was really tied down by,
sort of
restrictions and so it made it a non-starter.
So somebody turns up, I turn up to your lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even play the spoons.
That's great, actually. I prefer people that have got no
skill at all
whatsoever.
Unlike my son,
no bad
who can
habits.
play.
No, we don't need any transferable skills. We don't need any musical knowledge. You turn up. We don't use any musical scores. We don't use any. The only printed material we use is song sheets with the words or lyrics on there, and a few little indications of where the chord changes are. Yeah, but it always starts at the very beginning, okay? But if you come along to one of my beginners classes, you'll be playing within 20 minutes.
Really?
Yep, you'll be playing and singing within 20 minutes. Yeah.
So, do you help people with choosing a ukulele? Is there a range of what you should buy as a beginner?
It's unbelievable, Barry. You could spend sort of £30 or you could spend 3,000.
Really?
Yeah, they come in different sizes, different shapes, different colours, electric, non-electric. So what I always suggest when, I have 20 identical ukuleles.
What you do?
I do, yeah. That's not all, I have more. 20 for work. So a fleet of 20 identical ukuleles. And when people come on a beginner's class, they don't need their own instrument. Right. So they borrow one of mine for the class. And after 2 or 3 weeks, you quite often find they've been out and bought one.
They've bought one.
However, on the first week, I'll give you buying advice, and there's a lot to be won or lost by buying one that suits you. Yeah. And it's not all about looks. It's not all about the size, and it's about the playing. You know, you want to buy it because you want to play that instrument, not because it looks pretty hanging on the wall.
And that's how you start people off. When it gets to that point, you can say to them.
Yeah, you get to the point where you want to move on, and to be honest, the 20 ukuleles that I've got aren't the best. And you get to the point, they're perfect for learning, and perfect for finding out whether this is for you or not, and it normally is. Yeah. And then you can decide what suits you best, because some people have got very small hands, some people have got very big hands, and some people want a different tone. So there's a range of tones. Some have got very mellow.
Different sizes?
There's 3 main sizes, and they're small, medium, and large. The small is called a soprano. The medium is called a concert, and the larger one is a tenor. And those are all tuned the same. You can put one down, pick the other one up, and they play exactly the same. Just that the tenor's got slightly more room along the neck.
I think when you talk ukulele, Who does everybody think of?
George Formby.
George Formby.
Now, do you know what? I'm going to tell you a story here.
Go on,
If anybody discovers that you play ukulele, they'll normally be right in your face, flapping their hands about, going, when I'm cleaning windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is quite funny for
Yeah.
the first few times, but that's the stereotypical response,
Yeah.
okay?
And that's because he is the most...
George Formby is
well-known,
associated
well,
with it, yeah, and to be honest, he did very well, and he made a lot of money out of it. But that's a stereotype I wish to avoid.
Right.
So I will tell you that I have, in the past, had a room full of pensioners playing all sorts of music that they don't know or they didn't know.
Yeah.
Music by Green Day, Steppenwolf's Born to be Wild.
Yeah.
All sorts of songs that you wouldn't associate with a group of pensioners playing ukuleles, but they turn out they love it. They absolutely love it. Yeah. At the moment, the group I'm working with, which is all pensioners, they're based on an active retired association.
Yeah.
They're learning Song 2 by Blur.
Really?
Now, if you know Song 2 by Blur, you would not think a group of pensioners would play that on ukuleles. Yeah. But yeah,
they love it.
They do, yeah. To be honest, we have slowed it down a bit. Yeah. We've made our own version of it. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all good fun. You see, the thing is, it's about keeping yourself active.
Yes.
And research has shown the two best things you can do for maintaining your brain power is either learn a new language or learn a musical instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you have to concentrate.
Yeah. Going back to the funded classes when we were working for Ageless Thanet, the main criteria, we had to have a tea break because it was about getting older people out to socialise. Yeah. That was the driving force behind all those classes.
That's a big part, isn't it? Social
it
sides.
is, yeah.
People meet and they...
Absolutely.
And then they make friends, don't they?
They make friends, yeah. I mean, the group I've got in Broadstairs, twice a year we have a meal together after we've done a concert to friends and family and everything. Yeah, and honestly, it's just a laugh. We just laugh it off. Yeah, doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. In fact, if you're not making mistakes, you're not challenging yourself.
Really?
Yeah, you're on a little plateau of comfortable numb. Comfortably numb, how about that?
That's good. Yeah.
That's one I play.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
So, they come along, first time.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm going to stop you there a minute, Barry. Don't forget where you got to. But coming through that door can be a huge step for some people. For some older people, their last memory of education of any sort was school, and that's not a good memory. So they've got a lot of courage to come through that door. Yeah. Okay, so we have to make them as welcome as possible. The best thing, humour. Of course. We just have a laugh. And so there we are. You can ask me.
So the humour is the backbone.
It's the backbone of everything we do. So yes, you've come through the door.
I've come through the door. Yeah. Hello, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm here for my first lesson.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Well, basically, we just sit them down. Yeah. Give them a ukulele, and then explain a lot of things in a short amount of time. I always guarantee they'll be playing and singing within 20 minutes. Okay, but there's a few things that need explaining. Obviously, it's a musical instrument, and there are certain things I will be referring to regularly. So they have to know the strings. There's 4 strings there, number 1, 2, 3 and 4. When you hold the ukulele, the string number...
Which you now have in your hands.
Yeah, I now have my hands. And as your chair's got arms on it, you might hear a bit of percussion as well. They're numbered towards you. So string 1 is actually furthest away as you look down. Right. Now that throws most people. So I
would have thought it'd be the top.
Exactly, yep. And if you buy a set of strings, they're called G, C, E, A, and that goes down that way. So that's a bit of confusion for a start. However, the strings are numbered towards you, string 1, 2, 3, 4, and then where the fingers of the left hand go to form the chords, they're called the frets, and again they're numbered from left to right as you look down, so fret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Going up the neck where they get narrower. Right. And so we have to explain a bit more about it, you've got the body, etc. But pretty quickly they'll be playing. In fact, you would be playing.
I've just got a question come in my head.
Yep.
what's the difference between playing the ukulele and a guitar?
Yep, well, there's a lot of similarities. The ukulele is always going to be easier because it's got 4 strings. A guitar has got 6 strings, and a guitar is quite a bit bigger. And so it can feel quite overwhelming to suddenly find this huge instrument in your hands, whereas the ukulele is small, friendly, 4 strings. However, the 4 strings, the shapes of chords we play are exactly the same as the bottom 4 strings of a guitar. So a guitarist could just pick this up and play it using their existing knowledge. The only difference would be they would be getting a different chord name.
Right.
So what they know as D would be our G. So it's five notes difference, but fine.
So there is a crossover.
Oh,
between
absolutely.
Playing both.
Yeah. In fact, there's the fourth. There's 3 main ukuleles, but there's also a 4th one which is bigger, called a baritone, and it's a 4-string guitar.
Right.
Yeah. So you play it the same, but you get different notes. Fine, if you're a ukulele player, you can treat yourself to a baritone and play it as long as you're not playing with anyone else. Then it gets a bit confusing.
Yeah.
But that's just another challenge.
So done the first lesson, gone away thinking enjoying this.
Yeah.
Next lesson. Is it just a continuation?
It's a continuation. It's a gradually developing process, really. So the very first chord let me just explain what a chord is before
Please
I go.
do.
So a chord is 3 or more different musical notes playing together. Okay, so if I demonstrate that, this is the chord of C, and you've got actually 4 there. But as I just strum it, they come together, don't they? Yeah, and I can just isolate a couple. But when I play the lot, that's the chord of C.
Right.
And that's easy. It's 1 finger, 1 position. You'd be able to do that straight away. Okay, as long as you've got your hand and your arm in the right position, just that finger goes down there. And with the right hand, we're strumming. To begin with, just do whatever it takes. Okay, you'll manage something. Just activate those strings. As time goes on, you'll be doing more intricate strumming. But to get off to a start, 1 chord. After about, I'd say 2 to 3 lessons, and a lesson would be 2 hours.
Yeah.
With a statutory tea break, of course. So an hour and a half.
I was about to say it's got to be a tea break.
After 2 or 3 lessons, you should be able to play 4 chords and change from one to the other quite fluently, and that will give you access to hundreds, if not thousands, of songs. Just those 4 chords.
And have you seen people who come to your lessons just progress? I mean, obviously people do progress, but have you seen people who really progress?
Yep.
Just
I have.
A real high level.
I have, yeah. I mean, there's one guy that comes to mind straight away who plays in one of the local ukulele groups and also does open mic sessions, and he just can't get enough of it, basically. Yeah.
So how many famous musicians use a ukulele now within their...
That's a very difficult thing to
I was just
define.
curious
There have been a few records recently in the last few years that have used ukulele. However, the Beatles, George Harrison, Paul McCartney did a lot of their composing on ukuleles.
Really?
They would go down to the end of the garden with ukuleles and just mess about with them, and from that, quite often they would find a song, and then they would go write things down, and then that would become one of their hits. Yeah. And George Harrison was a big fan of ukuleles, and he played them quite a lot. And there's a tribute to George Harrison, tribute concert. I think you can find it on YouTube, where Joe Brown and George's son all play a tribute, and you'll see some ukuleles there
and
as well.
And they bring them out?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's difficult to name many famous
I just wondered if there's anybody who might have just
gigs.
brought it into their repertoire at some point.
I think a few years ago there was a guy that I can never remember the name of that did a medley of Somewhere Over the Rainbow and something else, but I can't remember his name, and it's a very difficult name to remember.
I just thought of something else.
Yeah.
Are these used, Hawaiian music?
Oh yeah. They're very much associated with Hawaii, and most of the top ukulele builders, the hand-built ukuleles, come from Hawaii.
Really?
Yep. However, the ukulele originated in Portugal. It's not a Hawaiian invention.
So it's not, but they've sort of taken on the
very
mantle.
much, it's very much a Hawaiian
because
thing.
when you listen to Hawaiian music, it's always got a ukulele in it.
Yeah.
Always.
It has, yeah.
And there's some real top singers who use them, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just wondered, it just came into my head about, because I remember seeing a George Clooney film in Hawaii, and the guy was playing the ukulele in it, and it was lovely. The music was so lovely. Yeah. So that's why I just thought I'd bring it into the conversation. Just remembering.
Yeah. Well, I've got something to ask you now, Barry.
Go on then.
I think. Would you like me to challenge you?
Oh, go on then.
Okay. Right.
This is not good.
We're going to call this slot Challenge Barry. Okay? Because I've always said in 20 minutes you'll be playing, but I think in 5 minutes you'll be playing a quite well-known song. No singing required. I just want you to play a well-known song. Okay? The song is called Horse with No Name by America. Do you remember it?
I know that song very well.
Now, I'm going to show you, then
you're going to expect
I'm going to expect you to have a go.
Go on,
and so all you're going to do...
This is not pre-planned, by the way.
No, and I'm sure Barry will be editing this bit out furiously.
I won't. No.
Middle finger, there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's string 4, fret 2. You can see that. Push your hand forward so that it's not touching any strings. And you're going to do 4 of those, and then move it down to that string, and do 4 of them. And just strum down. Do whatever you like with your right hand, okay? I'm not going to even demonstrate it. We're going to see what happens. So, there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. There. 2, 3, 4. There. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
So I just go between the two?
Yeah. 4 beats, so I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can strum 2, 3, 4. There. And you can see where it's going there to there. I'm using the word there a lot, aren't I? All right, this is now Barry playing the ukulele, everybody. At the top, middle finger.
Middle finger.
Yeah, push your hand forward so that it's clearing the other strings, And I'm going to count to 4. You're going to do 4 there and then drop it down 1 string, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. So get a little bit more together. Down, 2, Very good. Now, Barry, I think the neighbours are banging on the wall.
They are.
The trouble is you live in a detached house.
I know.
So I think we ought to quit while we're behind,
I
don't
think
you?
you're right there. Cheers for that.
Well done, Barry.
No, thank you.
You are now a musician.
I'm now a musician.
Yes.
The spoons have gone.
Yeah, put that on your CV.
I will.
Yeah.
Cheers, Jim. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so what I would say is anybody who's listening in the Thanet area who thinks they might like to give it a go, look out for ukulele clubs nearby. There are several. There's one that meets at the Racing Greyhound. There's one that meets at the Tap Room at St Nicholas. That's quite popular.
Right.
There's another one that meets, I think it's the Montefiore Arms in Ramsgate. There's the one I mentioned earlier, meets in Olbies on a Monday night.
So you guys all know each other,
one in
don't
Birchington. Yep. Yeah. And, you know, they're out and about. And, of course, there's me. Yeah. And if anyone wants any help with ukulele, even if it's just purchasing advice or whatever, you can find my very bad website, very sparsely populated, but it's www.learnuk. Oh, start again, Jim. That's a bit to edit. www.learnukulele.co.uk and learn ukulele all joined up. no hyphens.
Brilliant.
And I'm always happy to help anyone. I just like helping people
enjoy
the ukulele.
No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
And challenge themselves.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say,
isn't
it is, and there was one thing I will say.
Yeah.
If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough.
Trying hard
enough. You've got to be making mistakes.
Right. So thank you so much for your time.
No, it's been brilliant.
Really appreciate it.
And you did well.
No, it's brilliant.
You did well.
That was really interesting. And if anybody wants to try, contact Jim. 20 minutes, you'll be playing. Maybe me, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But no, great fun. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Lovely. Cheers, Jim. Well, we haven't finished with Jim yet. In fact, now we're down at one of his classes, which is down at the Crampton Museum, and it is absolutely packed. There must be over 20 people here. So in a moment, we'll go in and we can have a little listen as Jim does his bit, and then the class will play and sing something. So looking forward to that. So back in a moment.
So this is us starting off with jeans on. Just for your benefit, Hazel, if you haven't played with us before, I always give you the first singing note so that you come in singing in tune maybe. So you'll hear that at some point. And I'm going to count in 4. Okay? We've got an intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I wake up in the morning light, I put on my jeans and I feel alright. I put my blue jeans on, I put my old blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on, I put my old blue jeans on. It's the weekend and I know that you're free, so put on your jeans and come on out with me. I need to have you with me, I need to feel you close to me. I need to have you with me, I need to feel you close to me. You and me with a motorbike riding in the sun, in the rain. I got money in my pocket, got a tiger in my tank, and I'm king of the road again. I'll meet you in the usual place. I don't need a thing except your pretty face. I need to have you with me, I need to feel you close to me. I need to have you with me, I need to feel you close to me. I need to have you with me, I need to feel you close to me. You and me with a motorbike riding in the sun, wind and the rain. I got money in my pocket, got a tiger in my tank, and I'm king of the road again. When I wake up in the morning light, I put on my jeans and I feel alright. I put my blue jeans on, I put my old blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on, I put my old blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on, I put my old blue jeans on. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you very much. How about that, Barry?
Brilliant.
Still talking to us?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, right, next song, Tub Thumping. We're not picking an easy song. So who we got? How many of the gentlemen are going to join me today on the rapping? Yeah, Tony? Yeah, rapping. Barry, you can join in if you want. Peter, are you going to join in? Have a go, eh? This is a very new song for us, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're learning. Right, there we are. First singing note. And this one comes in after 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where they sing when we're waiting. Where they sing. I get knocked down, I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Kissing the night away. Kissing the night away.
He drinks a whiskey drink, he drinks a vodka drink, he drinks a lager drink, he drinks a cider drink, sings songs that remind him of the good times, sings songs that remind him of the better times.
Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy.
I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, you're never gonna keep me down.
Kissing the night away. Kissing the night away.
He drinks a whiskey drink, he drinks a vodka drink, he drinks a lager drink, he drinks a cider drink, sings songs that remind him of the good times, sings songs that remind him of the bad times.
Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy.
I get knocked down, but I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, I get up again, never gonna keep me down.
Can I just very briefly say thank you so much? That's really cheered my morning up. It really has. No, it's been lovely. And Jim, thanks again for letting us come in. And you'll be out there in the ether soon with us. It'll be out there. But like I say, thank you all so much. Thank you for listening to Broadstairs Life. You can follow us on Facebook and various other social media platforms, including YouTube. Thank you for listening.